Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of Broadcast Music Talk. On this episode, we are talking about Metallica. I have some interesting news, and I have some not so good news. So, I'm going to start with the not so good news that I pulled from a post that Metallica had posted on their Facebook page. I just took a picture of the post and I am going to be reading it as they wrote it. So, here you go. A note from Lars, Kirk, and Rob. We are truly sorry to inform our fans and friends that we must postpone our upcoming tour of Australia and New Zealand. As most of you probably know, our brother James has been struggling with addiction on and off for many years. He has now, unfortunately, had to re-enter a treatment program to work on his recovery again. We fully intend to make our way to your part of the world as soon as health and schedule permit. We will let you know as soon as we can. Once again, we are devastated that we have inconvenienced so many of you, especially our most loyal fans who travel great distances to experience our shows. We appreciate your understanding and support for James, and as always, thank you for being a part of our Metallica family. And there's just a bunch of stuff for people in Australia and New Zealand to get refunds for their tickets. So yeah, that's the not so good news that James is back in rehab again. And I'm kind of surprised, honestly. I thought that he was, over this stuff. I thought he was doing well. I mean, obviously you wouldn't know from his performances as he gives his all every time, but habits are habits, I guess, but the good thing is he's back on the treatment. He's gonna do, I know he's gonna do well. He'll pull out of this. I know he will. And now, how about some good news about Metallica? Well, I found on loudersound.com an article that has the set list for S&M 2. And so I wanted to read that here. So we started with, of course, the Ecstasy of Gold. And then to the Call of Cthulhu, as they did in the original S&M. Then they played For Whom the Bell Tolls, which, that's fine. I think they did that on the second set of the original one. Followed by The Day That Never Comes, which I'm good with that. I love that song from Death Magnetic personally. I'm looking forward to that one. And then The Memory Remains, followed by Confusion, some new stuff, and Moth into Flame. And after that was followed by The Outlaw Torn, No Leaf Clover, and Halo on Fire. So a very interesting first set. Some classic stuff, some stuff that was on the first S&M, and some newer stuff from Death Magnetic and from Hardwired there. So set number 2 starts with a Scythian Suite OP20 second movement, a Sergei. I don't know how to say these classical artists' names, and I've done classical music since frickin' 5th grade. Anyway, but yes, sounds like an actual orchestral piece rather than something else. I don't know. Anyway, then that was followed by a song called Iron Foundry, which apparently is a Alexander Mosilov cover, which was a live debut, followed by The Unforgiven 3. Kind of cool. They played Unforgiven 3. And then an acoustic version of All Within My Hands, the last track from Saint Anger. And then that one, and this was most interesting, was done was after All Within My Hands, they did Anesthesia Pulling Teeth. Very interesting to me that they would play that. And then after that, they did Wherever I May Roam, followed by One, of course, followed by Master, and then Nothing Else Matters, and ends the show with Enter Sandman with the Frayed Ends of Sanity outro. So quite the interesting set list. I believe that was so that was mostly, I don't know if they're going to do that again, if that was both nights or just one night, but that's what the set list is. So I like it. It's not what I picked in my imaginary what my S&M 2 set list would be, but you know, I like it. You know, I like that they did a new song. They did, another orchestral intro for set 2. That they pulled out Anesthesia. That's a great tribute to Cliff. So yeah, very interesting. That film is still set as a one-time showing on October 9th and 13th now. Sadly, none of the theaters. I'd have to go like an hour or more away to see it, which I love Metallica, but I can't bring myself to do that. Plus, I'm a little bit busy these days to go to that. I hope they do a CD. I keep looking on the internet to see if they will, but I can't find anything if they're gonna release, like on S&M1, a CD of this. Is it just gonna be the movie, or are they gonna do maybe like with Through the Never, release the movie and the soundtrack separately? That would be cool. Either way, if at least if they release the DVD, then I can buy it, which I would. But I hope if it's a DVD and CD, I would buy both. I haven't gotten around to buying Through the Never, but I would buy it. So anyways, yes, that is my news about Metallica. That is all I have to say, so thanks for listening, and goodbye.